to the QDB service, and thank you very much for subscribing to the premium package. The premium package entails spreadsheet access and Telegram access. So I need to make a video in what to do when we get a signal. Monday, Tuesday, we'll have a message in Telegram to say buy or sell X, and just before you entered that trade, we have to remember that the signals are sentiment based. They're not technical in any way. They're based on human emotions, and we know that there's a 20% margin of error when it comes to retail sentiment analysis, because we know 80% of people lose money. So for that fact that we should do technical analysis to improve our odds. But before we get to the technicals and the risk management, the spreadsheet should be utilized, because on the Bubble Live tab, we'll say we'll had the Euro-Yen signal to sell, which we did, and that would be great because we know the bubbles are in agreement. And the reason for checking it is that in case we do get a glitch in the software, there is a small possibility that a line of communication gets broken, because our delivery system for the signal comes from Google Sheets to MetaTrader 4, the MetaTrader 4 into Telegram. So there's a small possibility a line of communication might break down. So by checking the bubbles and make sure that it did make sense, then you're okay. And if you don't know about the bubble logic, I recommend that you watch the videos that I'll put onto this YouTube video below. And it's absolutely key you understand the bubble logic, because that's the core of what we do. We're looking at basket versus basket, and the fact that this quadrant is strong sell and this quadrant is strong buy. Okay, so you pick strong versus weak, and you would have seen, look at your chart today at the Euro Kiwi, and it's fallen quite a lot for that reason. Okay, so you check your bubbles, and it did actually make sense, and then you'd come to the search tool and you'd populate your signal here. If you haven't got access to this, let me know and I'll just add you to the group. It's not a problem at all. And ideally it should be bearish on the technicals. So it's not an amazing example of a sell signal. However, the herd are going long here, and that's the most important thing about this particular tab, is the dynamic shifting of the herd. And if they're going long, then it's a sell, and this is what they're doing. They're moving by 3%. So it's worth checking your momentum as well. So we had like a sort of top in action up here, and so that agrees with the bubbles, because remember, this is the basket versus basket, and this is your singular pair, right? So that's some checks I would do. There are other things that the spreadsheet can give you more information. It can empower you a lot more, but just for the very simple basic steps of what you do when you get a signal, these are things that I would do. So check the bubble. Yep, great. Check your search tool. Yeah, that's confirmation. Ideally, these would be red as well. And then you come to your technical. Now, if you look at the trading view volume profile, we have a double resistance for the Euro-Yen. Now, the reason for using the volume nodes is they do act as quite a nice entry and exit. If you were to enter here with your stop at the prior day's high, then you've already got quite a nice R, especially if you're going to target down here. So that's one of the reasons for using the volume profile, is that it does give you a nice entry opportunity and an exit too. You can also use your stochastics and your MACDs and your RSI and the alligator oscillator or anything, as long as whatever your technical expertise is, don't enter until the technical agrees, because you want that confirmation. And it looks like it's a good sell from the sentiment. And we know with 80% probability the signal is going to be okay, but we do want to have some technical in place. And obviously, lastly, and most importantly is your risk management. Because if you don't stipulate your stop loss, price can go against you, because we do know we've got a margin of error, like I said at the beginning of the video, and we can see price come up, where the 20% of the retail traders do get paid, and that would be normal, because that, well, not necessarily normal, that would be okay, because we can't have them lose all the time. If they lost money all the time, they just wouldn't take part. So we have to have like a little bit of leeway. So we've got that 20% margin of error, and that's why we need to have risk management and utilize technical. So if you didn't have a stop loss, it could continue and go against you for hundreds and hundreds of pips. You could aggregate your position and try and add a sell on top, and then you'd average. But what if it did continue? Then you'd just made your situation worse. So I recommend keep it nice and simple. Use the bubbles, which is quite straightforward to understand, and then just put your technical chart on there with risk management. Fundamental forces are in play, obviously, because we need to know if something's risk on or risk off. The yen will appreciate in a risk off environment, and the euro will appreciate on a risk on environment. Risk on is when stocks rally, risk off is when stocks fall. So you do want to take your fundamental forces, and but for us, for the QDB service, just for a very, very basic introduction video, what to do when you get a signal, check your bubble, check your search tool, check your technical and your risk management, and then before entry, do a little bit of fundamental analysis, and then you'll be good to go. And so we've got problems in the Eurozone, which I highlighted earlier in the discussion group. Looks like there's some issues in Italy, so that's a candidate for some euro weakness for sure. And so you just do these checks and you should be fine. There are lots to the spreadsheet, which I won't cover in this video because there's lots to talk about. If you did, for example, if you want to know a target, you'd check your SLC, which means stop loss cluster. And if you subscribe to the FX SSI indicators, you'll get their stop loss clusters in real time. And by having that, you know where they're going to exit. So where their stop loss is, that's your take profit. And so it's really cruel, but it works. It's very effective. So there are lots and lots of stuff to the sheet, but just for this video, we'll just cover the basics. And I'll try and put more fundamental analysis into the discussion group, and that should help. And it looks like we're going to break the round number here, which would agree with the sentiment at the basket level and at the singular level. So that's the singular level, and that's the basket level. So this is a very much high level, very powerful bird's eye view. And this is the low level view that everyone else in the world is looking at. But no one is looking at this. Very, very few people, and especially at a sentimental level. So that's why this is so powerful. So, and hopefully it helps. And I've had to make a few takes of this video because the sound quality was awful. So if it was bad, I do apologize. I think this is about my 8th take now, so hopefully it's okay. I hope you have a good day, and I'll speak to you soon.